Last night's Game 1 recipe for the Cincinnati Reds was a simple one. Play Reds baseball. The recipe was easy to follow. Mix in solid pitching. 2 pitch. Breaking ball got him looking. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball got him. 2-2 pitch off speed again. Add a little power. A bit of speed. A generous helping of solid defense. Quite simply, it was a typical Reds victory. The new Red machine, following the perfect blueprint. If the Reds are to be stopped, you have to solve their pitching, short-circuit their power and their great speed, and find some holes in the defense. Somehow, some way, the Dodgers have to cook up a plan. Having dropped the opener of this best-of-5 series on their home turf, the Dodgers suddenly find themselves at crunch time. They now need a victory to pull even before moving on to Cincinnati for the remainder of this series. It's Game 2, the Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. Along with Joe Morgan, I'm Greg Gumbel. At the top of our telecast last night, we talked about these teams, a study in contrast. It was the Dodgers who had the momentum as the regular season finished, and it was the Reds who were stumbling down the stretch. But they didn't come out that way, Joe.
Well, if you look at last night's ball game, it appeared to me like the Dodgers were playing a game in the middle of the season. The Reds had far more intensity than the Dodgers. The Reds looked like they were playing a playoff game. The Dodgers are going to have to turn up their intensity tonight.
How do they do that? How do they get more intense, and how do they regain momentum?
Well, I think they can do that a couple of ways. First of all, they have to show the Reds that they're not going to be intimidated by the Reds. And they can do that a couple of ways, by making a great play in the field, by throwing out a base runner trying to steal, and maybe even by moving a couple of hitters off the plate. I think they're going to have to show them, hey, we're not going to let you walk over us in our home park.
We've talked about the Cincinnati Reds and how balanced a ball club they are, and last night was every indication of the way they can play baseball. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of their game was Pete Shurick's pitching. The question is, can John Smiley, tonight's starter, dominate the way Shurick did last night?
Well, unfortunately for the Dodgers, they're very similar pitchers in that Smiley has a great fastball and he also has a great changeup. His breaking ball is not as good as Shurick's. That may help the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are going to have to tune their bats up. They were handled very easily last night by Shurick's fastball and curveball.
And make no mistake, it is crunch time for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who absolutely need a victory here tonight. And then, even if they win tonight, they're faced with the prospect of winning 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati over the weekend. On the mound tonight for Cincinnati, left-hander John Smiley, a 12-game winner on the season, and rookie right-hander Ismael Valdez for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Those are the matchups. We'll have the starting lineups when we come back, but right now, let's check in with Hannah Storm in our baseball studio. A view of Dodger Stadium as we approach twilight here in Los Angeles. Here is tonight's Budweiser starting lineup. For the Cincinnati Reds, Thomas Howard, leadoff man, is in center field. Barry Larkin at short. Ron Gant is in left. Reggie Sanders in right. Hal Morris is at first. Benito Santiago with 3 RBIs here last night, including a home run behind the plate. Brett Boone is at second. Jeff Branson at third. And John Smiley is on the mound. They'll be facing right-hander Ismael Valdez.
And Ismael Valdez has a big task. He has to shut the Reds down early. He has good stuff, good fastball, curveball, slider, and a change. And let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. I think the key to the Dodgers is Mondesi in right field. He has a bad leg. He has not been able to run down fly balls. Still has one of the best throwing arms in baseball.
Cincinnati Reds, number 22.
We're ready to go. Game 2 of this best-of-5 series. And like the best-of-5 series or not, you've got to play it.
Yes.
There's Tom Lasorda, who would like to see his team more aggressive than they were last night. On the other side of the field, Davey Johnson figures he's in good shape with 1 win here in Dodger Stadium, and quoted this morning as saying, well, now I'd like to get greedy. I'd like to get them both. Here we go. Thomas Howard takes ball 1.
The one thing you have to watch for with Valdez, he has excellent control. He will not walk a lot of hitters, but he'll get ahead in the count, and then he makes a lot of mistakes. He'll have to cut down on those hanging pitches if he's to beat the Reds.
Ball strike, 1-1. Tim Wallach charging on that last pitch. Now backs up a bit at third base. Thomas Howard, a 302 hitter. Switch hitter, left-handed, hits .313. And has hit all 3 of his home runs this season from the left side of the plate.
Last night we watched Ramon Martinez, and he was overthrowing the baseball. Maybe his adrenaline was flowing too high, but we'll have to watch Valdez and see if he can keep his emotions under control.
Back up the middle. Broken bat, it sounds like. Fonville with a quick play.
That's exactly what Valdez will do to you. He was away, and then he came in with a fastball. He jammed him. Nice play behind the bag by Fonville, and he throws him out. And remember, since Fonville has played shortstop, the Dodgers have been a pretty good defensive ball club, whereas before they were the worst defensive ball club in the National League.
Still ranked worst statistically at season's end, but had improved measurably since Fonville took over the shortstop position. Here's Barry Larkin. He pops up the first pitch. Short center field. Brett Butler comes on for out number 2.
You may see a lot of first ball swinging from the Reds tonight simply because Valdez will throw strikes. Last night, Martinez would fall behind you, but they know that Valdez will throw strikes, so they're going to have to be ready to swing the bats.
Outfielder
Marquise Grissom again with a home run for the Atlanta Braves. Has them on top of the Colorado Rockies.
Braves are pitching and power. The Reds are a little better balanced, though. They're pitching, speed, defense, everything. The Reds are a good ball club.
Here's Ron Gant. Takes ball 1. Gant 1 for 5, scored a run last night. A .276 hitter, 29 home runs, and 88 runs batted in.
A lot of that postseason average comes from the times he was playing with the Braves, and they were always facing the pitching-rich Pittsburgh Pirates.
Pitch in there, 2-1. What pitcher were you complaining about in the dugout before the game who struck you out 3 times?
That was Grant Jackson. He works, you know, he's one of the Reds coaches. Grant Jackson, when he pitched with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Funny how something like that sticks in your mind, huh? This one hit in the air on the right side of the infield. Delino DeShields out in short right field. And a considerably better start for the Dodgers tonight. The Reds scored 4 last night. They fail in the first tonight.
Atlanta at Colorado. We last saw Rockies starter Lance Painter striking out at the plate with the bases loaded last night. And then today, his first pitch of the game, and he gives up a solo shot to Marquise Grissom. It's Grissom's second home run of this series, and it gives the Braves an early 1-0 lead over Painter and the Rockies. Greg and Joe.
All right, Hannah. Thanks very much. And now here's tonight's Budweiser starting lineup for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And same lineup Tom Lasorda put on the field yesterday. Brett Butler in center, Chad Fonville at short, Mike Piazza behind the plate, Eric Karros at first, Tim Wallach down at third. Delino DeShields comes up a slot in the order. Raul Mondesi hits 7th and plays right. Roberto Kelly is in left. And the pitcher, Ismael Valdez, they're going up against John Smiley.
And there's the record John Smiley has. He is very similar to Pete Short. Real good fastball and a changeup. Doesn't have quite the curveball that he has, but he is also a dominant pitcher. There you see Reggie Sanders in right field has improved each and every year defensively. He is going to be the next big superstar in the National League.
Here's Brett Butler. 1 out of 5 with an RBI last night. The Dodgers' 7-2 loss. It'll be Butler, Fonville, and Mike Piazza. And Smiley begins, missing the plate, ball 1.
In last night's ball game, they pitched Butler in and played him more to pull the ball, and he hit a couple of hard ground balls to the right side. And we'll see if Smiley continues to pitch him inside. Yes.
Jammed him, pulled it down the right field line. Foul ball.
It's interesting that Butler was probably looking for the ball inside because he knows if they pitched him inside last night and got him out, they're probably going to come back. Let's see if he opens up. Yeah, look at that. He opens up and pulls that ball. Even though the ball is inside off the plate, he still pulled it foul.
1-1 count. This time he goes the other way and fouls it down the left field line. 1-2. Brett Butler had just 1 home run during the regular season in 513 at bats. Smiley 2-0 in 2 starts against the Dodgers this year with a 2.35 earned run average. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled again.
And you can see they're just staying in tight on Brett Butler this entire at bat. But what that will do is if they throw 2 or 3 pitches inside, it will open up the breaking ball away for him. So Smiley has got him exactly where he wants it.
Let's see where Smiley goes with this one. Decides to hold off on his windup. A ball and 2 strikes. Just underway in the bottom half of the first inning at Dodger Stadium. No score. Butler follows it again. This time last night, the Dodgers were down 4-0. Cincinnati scored 4 in the top of the first, 2 of them coming home on a Benito Santiago 2-run homer.
And there you see Lasorda. He's even more lively tonight. Last night he was sitting on the bench. Now he's up egging his team on, so I think he's going to be a little more aggressive tonight.
Butler, base hit. We'll take the moment to remind you this 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Wendy's Spicy Chicken Sandwich. Get it while it's hot. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. Butler on first. Here's Chad Fonville.
Good hitting there by Butler. He stayed with it, got an off-speed pitch and pulled it. I think if you're Lasorda, you have to try to break early, so you're either going to sacrifice with Fonville,
which he does. And a good one up the first base line. Smiley will have to hurry underhands and gets his man. Nice bunt by Fonville. Nice job by John Smiley.
Excellent bunt. This is where you want the ball, down the first baseline. Now Smiley, being left-handed, has to run around the ball, so he has to run all the way around it and flip an underhand. Nice play. Again, tough play because he has to barehand it after he runs around it. Good play there and good bunt.
And Fonville did a good job with a tough pitch to bunt. So Butler down at second with 1 out now, and here's Mike Piazza.
It's very important for the Dodgers to break off early and be ahead in this ball game. It will do a lot for them psychologically.
You see what Piazza did last night, his home run over the right center field fence. Now with a man in scoring position and 1 out. Strike 1.
Smiley's a guy that he will try to set you up for the changeup. He will throw the fastball in and high and away. He uses his fastball in and up and off the plate, and he throws the changeup to get you out with. And it doesn't matter who the hitter is, Greg. If they can fire you up inside, if they can pitch you inside, and you know that they can get in there, it really opens up the outside part of the plate because you do not want to be jammed. There's Don Gullett, the pitching coach. He was very good at getting in on right-handers. But you have to be able to come in on the right-handers if you're left-handed, just to keep them honest.
Piazza down 0-2 in the count. High and tight. Piazza homered here last night. His average of hitting 1 home run every 13.5 times at bat was the best in the National League.
Good RBI man also. You see with runners in scoring position over 354.
John Smiley does not make a habit of giving up home runs in the first inning. Hasn't done it in his last 28 starts. And this is inside the count even now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very often the first inning can set the tempo as it did for Cincinnati and for Pete Shorrock last night.
You're right. They had 4 runs for him, made it easier for Short to pitch. They do not have any runs for Smiley. A little more pressure on Smiley today than they had on Short yesterday.
2-2 to Piazza. Lined into right center field. And making the catch is Reggie Sanders. And back to second is Brett Butler.
Well, Piazza hit it hard. He just didn't find the gap in right center field. It's interesting, a lot of teams are willing to pitch him inside and let him fight the ball off. He's so strong, he can always fight the ball off to right field. But at least they think that they will keep him in the ballpark. If they get the ball out over the plate, he can drive it out of the ballpark. See, this ball's inside. See how he has to shorten his arms, pull him in a little bit just to get to it. and you can't drive the ball from that position, and that's what they're trying to do, just make sure they keep Piazza in the ballpark.
And Reggie Sanders fighting a little bit of the sunshine there, running from sunshine to shadow. Here's Eric Karros. Rips the first pitch down the left field line, and the Dodgers will take the lead. Butler comes around to score. Karros into second with a run-scoring double, 1-0 Los Angeles.
We talked about Karros being the more spectacular of the two, hitting 2 home runs in a ball game 6 times this year, but this guy has been the steady guy. He has been the guy that's driven in 105 runs. He has been there from day one. He is as valuable to this ball club as Piazza is. That was a fastball in. I think most of the right-handed hitters are going to look fastball in on the first pitch from Smiley. And Karros was looking for it in. He got it in and got a base hit.
Here's Tim Wallach. Let's see if he gets one tight on the first pitch.
Breaking ball. Good pitch there from Smiley. Wallach is a little different hitter than Karros and Piazza. Wallach will chase the ball down, which he does here. This pitch is out of the strike zone. He will chase the ball down and the one up. They will throw fastballs up and try to get the breaking ball down low.
And Wallach quickly down 0-2.
One thing about Wallach, he was always up there swinging. He will hurt you when you least likely think that he's swinging the bat well.
This one fouled down the right field line and into the seats. Back on the 22nd of September, in a game that you and I did here at Dodger Stadium, Wallach collected his 2,000th career hit.
It's a lot of base hits. You know, not many people get 2,000 base hits.
0-2 pitch. Ripped foul past third.
Last night we started the ball game. It was a pitcher's sun, so to speak. The sun was behind the pitcher, and it was dark near the pitcher, near the plate. Now you see the sun is in right field, so it's tough for Reggie Sanders out there in right field and Raul Mondesi to play the ball, but it really is good for the hitters. They can see the ball better today than yesterday at this time.
It's awful lonely out there in right field, hasn't it? 0-2 pitch. So Smiley gets Wallach, but yields a run, and we've played one here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers lead it 1-0. For the top of the second inning, the Reds will send Reggie Sanders, Hal Morris, and Benito Santiago against Ismael Valdez. And Sanders swinging on the first pitch, strike one. Sanders with a 1-for-5 night last night, a .306 hitter during the regular season with 28 homers and 99 runs batted in.
Ron Gant got a lot of the publicity early in the season, but Reggie Sanders was consistent the entire season.
Strike two.
And it was he who led the Reds in runs batted in with the 99, not Ron Gant.
The Dodgers tell us, Joe, that Ismael Valdez is sometimes prone to nervousness. He doesn't look a bit nervous tonight.
The only time I've ever seen him have a problem, as I mentioned earlier, is when he gets ahead in the count, like right now. He will make a mistake. He'll hang a curveball in the middle of the plate or change up right down the middle, whereas as long as he's 1-1 or even, he seems to make good pitches.
Strike three call.
Can't do any better than that. 3 right on the black on the outside corner. No chance for Reggie Sanders. Look at Piazza. Let's see if he hits the glove. Yes, right there. Perfect.
First baseman.
You can always tell how good a pitcher's throwing is how close he comes to the target.
Morris.
And he does not have to move his glove at all. Perfect pitch there from Valdez.
First strikeout of the night for Valdez. And here's Hal Morris. 3 for 4 last night. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and there's strike one on the black on the outside part of the plate.
When you get to this level, the best teams in the league, the playoff teams, all of their pitchers can pitch to spots. If you watch during the course of the season, a lot of catchers just set up in the middle of the plate. When you have quality pitchers, they can go from middle in to middle out. They can pitch on the outer portions of the plate. And that's what you have to do to contain real good hitters.
That one up and in. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike.
Look at that. He took over for Pedro Estacio. Estacio started struggling.
Hard, but right at center fielder Brett Butler, who makes the grab. you were saying since Valdez joined the starting rotation.
Yeah, he hasn't been real consistent. He'd win 4 in a row, lose 3. He'd win 4 in a row, lose a couple. But he has always been a good starter for the Dodgers. He gave them some innings, but he took over again for Pedro Estacio because Estacio was struggling early in the season. Then Estacio went to the bullpen. He struggled there, but once he got accustomed to the bullpen, he has been a very good pitcher coming out of the bullpen for the Dodgers.
Here's Benito Santiago. He swings on the first pitch and fouls it back.
Well, you see the difference between Ramon Martinez last night and Valdez. Valdez is getting ahead of the hitters. He is throwing strikes. Martinez was struggling, and the Reds were sitting on the fastball, and they could hit it. But with Valdez, he stays ahead of you so he can use any pitch that he wants.
Santiago 1 for 3 last night, a home run, drove home 3 runs. That misses, and the count is even at 1-1.
There's Ramon Martinez. He's probably just hoping that he gets another chance to redeem himself because he has been the Dodgers' best pitcher throughout the season.
Hit in the air to right field. Mondesi on the run. Back to the warning track. Makes the catch. Comes up limping on that bad right knee. Fine catch by Mondesi. We'll go to the last of the second. 1-0 Dodgers.
And Raul Mondesi is one of the best right fielders in the league. He gets a good jump on this ball. You see he's hobbling a little bit, and then he crashes into the wall. With the bad knee, you can't slow down. I think that's the problem. And he couldn't stop his momentum, and he hits his neck and his ear and his head right against the fence. You see they're working on his neck.
And look at the side of his head, maybe his ear as well. He'll stay in.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Bottom of the second inning. DeShields, Mondesi, and Kelly to face John Smiley.
Greg, in fact, the Dodgers made a switch in their lineup. They moved DeShields up to 6th and dropped Mondesi down to 7th. And I think that was because of his knee. He was having trouble pushing off last night, and they just want to move him down in the lineup. And DeShields has been swinging the bat well.
Mondesi has now come out to the on-deck circle. He will hit next. DeShields, sky high, back of second. Brett Boone out, calls for it, and makes the catch. Here's Mondesi.
Number 43.
You can see that he is limping, and you see the big brace on his right knee. He injured his leg in San Diego last Friday. But he came back the next day to hit the home run and help put the Dodgers over the hump, help them to win the Western Division title. And he's been playing with that brace on ever since. And he did struggle last night, as you can see.
That would be the power leg, the push-off leg, Joe. How much does it affect the batter?
A hitter like Mondesi, it affects him quite a bit simply because he does stay on his back leg a little longer. A singles hitter will come off the back leg a lot, but if you're power hitters, they like to be bracing themselves on that back leg.
That's a called strike. The umpires tonight, Bob Davidson behind the plate. Eric Gregg is at first. Frank Pulley at second. Bruce Fremming at third. Gary Darling is down the left field line, and Ed Montague down the right field line. A ball and a strike. 2-1.
One of the things the Dodgers will also have to do tonight against Smiley is be patient. They cannot chase pitches out of the strike zone. They have to be patient. Make him throw you a strike.
Hard, but right at third baseman Jeff Branson. 2 gone. If you watch John Smiley, if it weren't for the numbers, he'd look an awful lot like Pete Shorrock out on the mound.
Left fielder. Number 21.
Go back to Raul Mondesi in the batter's box.
He got a good pitch to hit. Now watch his back leg. See how he actually comes off of it. That's not the way that Mondesi normally hits. That means that he's losing a lot of his power. He's swinging with his upper body. But he is strong enough to hit that way.
Here's Roberto Kelly. 1 out of 4 in last night's opener. There's a breaking ball strike. And with the count 0-1, let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Greg, a check on the Indians' Albert Bell in his first at-bat tonight in the wake of that corked bat controversy, and he responds with a double off Boston starter Eric Hansen. That moved Omar Vizquel to third base, but then Hansen later struck out Eddie Murray to end the inning, and we're still scoreless in Cleveland. Greg?
And we're we're scoreless here at the back. I misspoke myself, and I take full responsibility for it, Joe. We are not scoreless. The Dodgers, with a run in the first inning, lead at 1-0 as we go to the top of the third. It'll be Brett Boone, Jeff Branson, and John Smiley to face Ismael Valdez, who has retired the first 6 Reds that he has faced.
I'll take part of the blame because we're a team here. I'll share the blame with you.
You can take all of it if you'd like. Here's Brett Boone.
Boone, of course, is another one of those good acquisitions made by Jim Bowden that really has helped.
Oh, and he's made a bunch of them, too, hasn't he?
Yes.
Jim Bowden, the general manager of the Cincinnati Reds. On the first pitch, popped up.
Well, Valdez doesn't see it. He's standing there with his arms open, but hey, Ismael, you got 8 other fielders out there.
Eric Karros saw it and caught it for out number 1. There's Jim Bowden on the left and Reds owner Marge Schott on the right. Time for the Toyota Diamond Dust Fact. Coors Field is hosting a postseason game in its first season of operation. Name 5 other current stadiums, Joe, that hosted postseason games in their very first season of existence.
Well, you're right. I know I can get one of them.
I know you can get at least one.
Yeah.
Frankly, Joe, I could get one. I'm expecting a lot more out of you. Here's Jeff Branson. Ball 1. Branson, a .260 hitter on the year, was 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in the 7-2 Reds win last night. Outside, 2-0.
I talked about the balance of the Cincinnati Reds and how well balanced they were throughout. They need a little more power from their third baseman if they're going to keep Morris at first.
Popped up, foul territory. Coming down the line is Tim Wallach. 8 straight retired by Valdez.
And the reason I say they need a little more power at third is because at first base and third baseman are supposed to provide some home run power and RBIs. And if they're going to go with Morris at first, then they need a little more power at third base. There's Davey Johnson. It will not be his problem after this year.
No, it won't. Davey Johnson, in the vernacular, will be out of here. It'll be Ray Knight, from every indication, now coaching third. Here's pitcher John Smiley, a 164 average, 9 out of 55 at-bats on the season.
And Valdez just continues to throw strikes. And that has been the key to his success so far.
There's a breaking ball for strike 2. Smiley with 2 home runs in his 9 hits this season. 0-2 pitch. Misses the outside corner.
I actually feel that Piazza likes working with Valdez better than any other pitchers simply because he can do the things that he wants. Just miss off the plate like that and go in when he needs to.
Smiley with a good cut, foul ball.
In fact, if you look at the Dodgers staff, Valdez probably has the best overall stuff, meaning fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. You know, and Nomo has 2 pitches, a fastball and a forkball.
1-2 pitch, outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike Piazza, there's Hideo Nomo, who will start Game 3 against the Reds Friday night at Riverfront Stadium. 2-2 pitch to Smiley. Breaking ball got him looking. So 9 up and 9 down. Valdez perfect through 3 innings. 1-0 Dodgers.
Up to the Dodgers.
The view from on high of Dodger Stadium as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Dodgers holding a 1-0 lead. Eric Karros with an RBI double in the 1st inning, and it'll be Ismael Valdez leading it off for the Dodgers. He'll be followed by Brett Butler, then Chad Fonville. Valdez has retired the Reds in order in the first 3 innings. Hits the first pitch towards short. Barry Larkin. Out number 1. And 1 gone. Into the top of the order, Brett Butler singled and scored back in the 1st.
Number 22, Brett Butler.
The Dodgers a run on 2 hits. The Reds, no runs, no hits, no errors.
We pointed out the first time up that Smiley was trying to pitch Butler inside. He stayed inside, and as long as he was up, he didn't have a problem with it. He got the pitch down and in, and just about every left-hander that's ever swung a bat can handle a pitch down and in. He wants to pitch him up and in above the belt.
It's the first pitch in the center field, and Thomas Howard has him played perfectly for out number 2. Before we give this answer, any guesses, Joe?
Well, I only know Cincinnati.
Shortstop.
That's not the one I guessed. I guessed Yankee Stadium.
All right, well, that's
the
2.
5 other current stadiums that hosted postseason games in their first season: Fenway, Yankee Stadium, Riverfront, Three Rivers Stadium, and Skydome.
Okay, well, we got 2 of them.
We're on a roll. That'll get us a cup of coffee and directions to the airport. Chad Fonville laid down a sacrifice back in the first inning. Set up the first Dodger run. Takes a look at strike 1. Fonville's numbers over the 1995 season. Did not hit a home run.
He's a little guy that makes things happen, you know, with his speed, with his discipline at the plate. He takes a lot of pitches and he chops a lot of balls. He gets a lot of infield hits. But his main asset to the Dodgers is he plays good defense at shortstop.
Inside pitch in the hole. Larkin, long throw, didn't get it.
Anytime one of the middle infielders has to move more than 2 steps, they're not going to be able to throw Fonville out. And this ball here is in the hole. It was a base hit from the right. It's a base hit right now. Once he makes more than 2 steps, you're not going to be able to throw Fonville out. Because he gets out of the batter's box so quick, and he's awfully quick down the line.
Fastest man in the lineup.
Yes, I think so. Larkin makes the play about as well as you can make it because he didn't have time to set himself and put much on the throw, but that's what speed will do for you, and that's what Fonville does.
42 infield hits during the regular season, Fonville laid claim to, and here's Mike Piazza. Saw his pitch right there and just missed it.
Well, it was a good pitch by Smiley, too, though. It had a lot of pop on it. Good movement. Those infield hits that these 2 guys have.
Good reason why both Piazza and Karros have good RBI numbers on the regular season. Fonville with 20 steals and 27 tries this season. Fans looking for some more action.
Smiley is not that difficult to get a good jump on because most big guys, they have high leg kicks and it takes them a while to get the ball to the plate.
High fly ball, short right field. Boone out, making the call and making the catch. And we've played 3 here at Dodger Stadium. 1-0 Dodgers, and we'll have more of Game 2 after these words from your local station. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. We either have the blimp with us again tonight, Joe, or a really tall cameraman. The MetLife blimp is back with us again. We appreciate their company and their shots.
Leading off to the
Top of the 4th inning and the top of the Cincinnati order. Thomas Howard, Barry Larkin, Ron Gant, Ismael Valdez, perfect through the first 3 innings.
And one of the reasons that he has been perfect through the first 3 innings is he has started 7 of the 9 hitters he has faced with a strike. And if you pitch from ahead in the count, you're not going to give up a lot of base hits.
Howard bounced to short. Swings on the first pitch and fouls this one down the left field line. Bounced to short to lead off the game. 0-1 count, and right now let's check in to Denver, Colorado, see what's happening with the Braves and the Rockies.
2-0 Atlanta in the top half of the 3rd inning. 2 men out, runners at 1st and 3rd. Pete Van Weer and Larry Dierker with you from Coors Field. Braves got a run on the very first pitch of this game when Marquise Grissom hit a home run over the center field wall. They just scored again on a Javi Lopez sacrifice fly. Now Ryan Klesko, who was safe on Eric Young's error his first time up. 0-1 the count. Chilly night here in Coors Field. 47 degrees at game time, a 17-mile-an-hour wind.
That's just the way we like it.
Absolutely. In October, it wouldn't be postseason if we didn't have this cool weather. Down the right field line by Klesko. But this ball is going to be foul
Louis Kuhn were here, he'd be wearing a golf shirt.
That's right. Lance Painter out of the Rockies bullpen. He started just one game for them this year. Getting the start tonight. Trying to work out of further trouble here. First and third, 2 outs. And the 0-2. Klesko is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Klesko early in the year was being platooned. It was right around the All-Star break when Ryan began playing against both lefties and righties. Here's the 1-2 from Painter, and it's high. Fastball missing, 2-2.
His control has been more erratic. He got the catcher reaching back and forth instead of throwing the ball right to it.
The runner at first, Justice, will be taking off here. 3-2 pitch. On the way to Klesko. He got him. Struck him out with a fastball. That's his 3rd strikeout.
Barry Larkin, the hitter, with a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. Thomas Howard started the inning by grounding out to Delino to Shields, and a 2-2 count now on Larkin. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the night for Ismael Valdez. And let's take a moment to remind you, this game is being brought to you by Network MCI, how to get modern communications technology working for your business. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. And by Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. 2 out here in the top of the 4th. Here's Ron Gant. Takes ball 1. Dodgers a run, 3 hits, no errors. The Reds scoreless, no hits, no errors. Strike.
See, what happens with Valdez is if he misses with the first pitch, which he hasn't done very often, he can still come back with a quality pitch. He doesn't have to give in and throw a fastball down the middle. He comes back with a curveball right on the outside edge.
2-1 now on Ron Gant.
Well, it's very obvious the way they want to pitch Gant. They did it in last night's ball game as well. They want to throw him a lot of breaking balls. If they can get ahead of him in the count, they figure he will chase a ball out of the strike zone. That's 4 straight breaking balls in this at bat. And as a hitter, you sit there and they throw you 4 breaking balls, and it's very hard not to look for a breaking ball on the next pitch. And that's why pitchers have the edge, because if he wants to now and he throws him a fastball in, very difficult for the hitter to respond that quickly.
2-2 pitch. There's a fastball hit hard. Fonville in the dirt and past Carroll into the dugout. Gant will be on second on the throwing error. The Dodger defense, we mentioned it earlier and last night, the worst in the National League this season.
Right fielder.
Well, I've always wondered if he does have a shortstop arm. As you can look at, that's Offerman, who played shortstop, made quite a few errors. Well, he takes his time, but he doesn't put enough on the throw. It's like he's aiming it. He really aimed that ball, and it bounces too far in front. Karras is very good at short hopping the ball, but that one was way out in front. And we talked about the fact that Dodgers are a poor defensive team over the course of the season, but they played better the last 3 weeks.
There were no errors committed in the game here last night. That's the first here this afternoon. And the Reds with their first base runner with 2 out for Reggie Sanders and a strike. It was as if Fonville almost had too much time.
Well, the ball was hit sharply to him, and he did have a lot of time. But I think you got it right. He just looked like he aimed it.
Counts even now to ball and a strike. Valdez had retired 11 in a row. That should have been number 12. Sanders looked at a called third strike his last time up. Hit high and deep to center field. Brett Butler to the warning track, and it's gone. Those defensive woes. Instead of being out of the inning, Valdez serves up the gopher ball to Reggie Sanders, and the Reds lead it 2-1.
Well, Sanders, you have to give him a lot of credit on the pitch. He was a breaking ball away, and he goes out and gets it. Look where this pitch is. It's out away from him. He just goes out and gets it. Look how he extends out, and he's so strong when he hits it well. There are not many parks that can hold it. Butler gives it a good shot, but it's over the center field wall.
28 home runs during the regular season. And of the 28, he hit 19 of them on the road. And you know what Tommy's thinking. He should have been in the dugout. This is Hal Morris. Morris with a fly ball to left field, playable for Roberto Kelly. And the Reds are retired, but not before they put 2 on the board here in the fourth and take a 2-1 lead.
Stadium in a moment. First at Yankee Stadium, top of the third, no score, and the Mariners' Vince Coleman, who has had some key hits for that Seattle ball club since joining the team, goes opposite field for a home run coming off Yankees rookie starter Andy Pettitte. So the Mariners take an early 1-0 lead as they look to even this series with the Yanks. Greg and Joe.
All right, and Eric Carroll's leading off and gone. So just like that, the Dodgers evening up at 2 on the straightaway shot by Eric Carroll.
Well, it's a fastball up and in. Well, it's not so much up, but it's in. And Carroll drives it right over the center field wall.
32 home runs during the regular season. His first in the postseason. Karros has both RBIs here tonight. We're tied at 2. Here's Tim Wallach. Soft roller. Branson cuts it off and throws him out.
And what I said earlier bears repeating. Piazza has been more spectacular, but Karros has been the steadiest player on this ball club.
There's Chad Fonville, who committed an error in the top half of this inning.
Watch, he doesn't get a good grip on it. Watch the ball sink right there. The ball just drops down because he didn't grab it across the seams. He was trying to, but you'll see how upset he is when he comes in because he just cost his team 2 runs. At least that's the way he feels.
Here's Delano DeShields, and he takes strike 1.
As an infielder, you try to grab the ball across the seams and get it back in your hand and your fingers. You could see that he didn't have it back in there, so the ball acts like a sinker.
0-2 now, the count to DeShields. There's Eric Karros, who pulled the Dodgers even with the straightaway shot to center field.
Well, Fonville feels a lot better now. Obviously, when you're down 2-1 because of an error and you get back even, you feel okay. But it still hurt the Dodgers because Valdez was on a roll. He was just kind of rolling through the Reds lineup, and now he's been hurt. Now he may make a few more mistakes just because of the pressure.
1-2 to DeShields, takes it 2-2. DeShields popped out to second, leading off the second inning. So he stands in 0 for 1. Here's the 2-2 pitch. With the catch. 2 out, nobody on now, and here's Raul Mondesi.
Right fielder, number 43, Raul Mondesi.
actually has been hitting down in the lineup, and you see he's done pretty well hitting down in the 7th spot. He is actually a natural third-place hitter, but he has not. He was struggling a little bit, and Lasorda started dropping him down in the lineup.
Hits the first pitch on a line at Gant in left field, and that'll do it. So, Eric Karros, with his first postseason home run off John Smiley, pulls the Dodgers evening. It is a 2-2 tie after 4. Greg Gumbel, Joe Morgan, top of the 5th inning at Dodger Stadium. The Reds and the Dodgers tied at 2. Cincinnati will send Santiago, Boone, and Branson to face Ismael Valdez, who has made one mistake tonight. Reggie Sanders parked it over the fence in center field for a 2-run homer in the top of the 4th. Santiago 0 for 1 tonight. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Last night he was the hitting hero for the Cincinnati Reds in the first inning with 2 runs already home and a man aboard. Santiago tagged Ramon Martinez for a 2-run shot. Put the Reds up 4-0, and Pete Shorrock took care of the rest from there. Pitch tapped slowly foul up the third base line.
Greg, I want to point out something. The 2-run home run by Sanders really did more than just put 2 runs on the board. Valdez was just rolling along, and he looked like, you know, the Reds may never score. And when a pitcher is doing that, he feels like you're not going to be able to touch him tonight. And what happens is when you do score, he does know that he's vulnerable. You put a niche in his armor, now he knows that he's in for maybe a tough evening. So that put more than just 2 runs on the board. It put something in the back of Valdez's mind also.
That really makes this a key inning for Valdez on the mound.
That's exactly right.
See if he can regain the form and the rhythm that he had as he breezed through the first 3 2/3 innings.
Well, the one good thing is still throwing strikes. He's still getting out in front of the hitters. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1-2 to Santiago. He doesn't bite on the high one, and it's 2-2.
As I mentioned earlier, you know, he will win 4, lose a couple, you know, and there, look at that. He had a 3-game winning streak a couple of times this year, 2 5-game winning streaks, and 2 4-game losing streaks. That's the way he pitches. And actually, they all came in between. He'd win 3, lose 2, win 3, lose 4. That's the way he was. So that's been his problem. And most of the times when that would happen, he'd still pitch well, but he would always make a big mistake in the late innings, or when he shouldn't, when he could not afford to hang a breaking ball, he would.
Toward third. Wallach can't bring it down. Fonville recovers. No throw. And another runner aboard.
And that was as a direct result of his bad left knee. He could not stay down on the ball. He could not get over there. He almost gets there. I mean, normally Wallach eats this ball up. Now watch him. He normally eats this ball. Now watch, right there, he cannot stretch out.
We're still waiting for a ruling from the official scorer. It is a base hit. So that's the second hit tonight off of Valdez. Meanwhile, Marquise Grissom has done it again in Colorado. His second home run of the night.
Well, the Braves are playing true to form.
Joe, can I get some swings in at Coors Field? Here's Brett Boone.
That's the old saying, Coors Field has never seen a hitter it didn't like.
You haven't seen me yet. Reds, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Dodgers, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. They have their leadoff man on, and Santiago has to dive back.
Santiago is not a big threat to steal a base, but the Reds may put a hit and run on with Boone up. A lot of times, I think Davey Johnson likes to do something with Boone to make him cut down on his swing, because he really overswings a lot of times.
And Davey Johnson can afford to play some games being 1 up in this series and heading home. There's Davey Johnson as we continue to watch here. Let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Okay, Greg, let's take a look at that Marquise Grissom home run you just referred to. Remember, he led off the game with a home run off Lance Painter, and here he is in the top of the fourth. His second home run of the night. Grissom has 3 home runs in the first 2 games at Coors Field, and he only had 12 the entire season. Greg?
All right, Hannah, thank you. Here the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Brett Boone. Valdez behind in the count for one of the few times tonight. Swing on the 2-0 pitch, a fly ball into right center field. Butler and Mondesi converge. Butler pulls it down for the first out of the inning. Talked about how Mike Piazza probably likes to work with Ismael Valdez more than any of the other pitchers. Piazza has himself an awfully tough job behind the plate.
And he takes some criticism, and I don't understand why. He has a difficult job. As you can see, he has players from all over the country. His pitchers are from everywhere, all over the world. Different languages, different personalities, and he has to deal with them all. And here he is, a young catcher in the big leagues, trying to make all of that work.
And Tom Candiotti with the knuckleball, a language all his own.
Yes.
Nice stop by Piazza there.
Well, he has taken some criticism, and he says, look, what am I supposed to do? You know, my job, I do the best I can. I try to call pitches, but I have all these different personalities. Every night something changes. And then, you know, he says, I also have to play good defense. And you take a look here. That is an excellent play by Piazza. I'm really surprised he was able to stop that. That ball bounced up, and he wasn't able to get his entire body in front of him.
Branson towards short. Fonville to second for one. The first double play. So Fonville starts the double play. We'll go to the last of the fifth in a 2-2 tie. 2-2 as we move to the bottom of the fifth. A different look on Chad Fonville now.
Yes, this is a fine double play that he and DeShields turn at second base. But this is the important thing. Watch how he goes after he goes in the dugout as we take another look at it. Nice turn at second there by DeShields. And there's Eric Gregg. He says, yes, that's 2. But here's DeShields. I mean, in the dugout, he was clapping hands, talking to people. And that's just kind of the opposite of Offerman. And when Offerman would make a mistake, he had a tendency to go into a shell. And I think that is what is good about Fonville. He knows how to handle his mistakes.
Here's Roberto Kelly going after John Smiley, or vice versa. Kelly, Valdez, and Brett Butler for the Dodgers here in the fifth inning. Hit hard. Comes up in a nice hop for Larkin, and that's out number 1. One down for Valdez.
Number 59, Ismael Valdez.
Dodgers with 1 in the first and 1 in the fourth. Cincinnati with 2 in the fourth. Valdez swings on the first pitch and fouls it back.
Look at Larkin. See how he is in a perfect position. That's a Gold Glove shortstop. He is prepared for the ball to take any kind of hop. That ball hopped up kind of high, but he was ready for it. He's always in perfect fielding position. And infield play takes good footwork. You know, most infielders have to be able to dance. You have to have good footwork in order to be a good infielder. And Larkin has some of the best footwork.
This one lifted foul down the first base line, and that'll make the seats. The count is 1-2 on Valdez. Do I take that as a you can dance?
My little impression of James Brown, yes.
Very little impression, I might add. I'm glad we didn't have a camera live on that. A ball and 2 strikes to Valdez. Looped into short right field. Boone out. In is Reggie Sanders for the catch. And we go to the top of the order from Brett Butler. Dodgers got their run in the first when Butler singled, was sacrificed to second, and came home on Eric Karros' double.
Butler.
The Reds took the lead in the fourth inning. Valdez had retired 11 straight, then Gant reached on the Fonville error, and Reggie Sanders had a 2-run homer for a 2-1 Cincinnati lead. In the bottom of the fourth, Karros got it back with a leadoff home run. That's where we stand now with 2 out in the bottom of the fifth. strike one.
And remember, this is how big league pitchers change their patterns. They were pitching Butler in the first 2 times up, so what does he do this time? Starts him off with a breaking ball away, just to keep him from getting into a zone.
Butler fakes the bunt. The count is even at 1-1. Talked about John Smiley and how he pitches on the road. 8-1, 3.10 earned run average. Pitch in the dirt.
This also shows you how the pitcher and the catcher work so well together, and they're thinking the same. First time up, he threw him all fastballs. He got a base hit. He threw him all fastball. The next time up, he got a base hit. Now in this at bat, hit a fly ball to center. In this at bat, he's throwing him 3 straight breaking balls.
3-1. Joe, we got a fax from James Brown. He says he's insulted.
Once that imitation is the greatest flattery I can give to him. Trying to imitate
not
him.
Always.
Oh, okay.
3-1 to Butler. Up the middle. Boone will have to hurry. Can't make the play. He misses it. Rolls into short center field. I suspect that'll be a base hit.
And he was going to have a very difficult time trying to throw Butler out on that ball, because Butler hit the ball and he got out of the box well, and it wasn't hit very sharply. Boone had a long way to go just to get to it. See how far he has to go to get to it, and then he was going to have to throw it from that deep just to get to
Number 3.
first base.
Bonville.
Chalk up another infield hit for Brett Butler.
That's number 44 on the season.
Here's Chad Fonville. Fonville sacrificed in the first, singled in the third. This all one. One of the few times Smiley didn't start a hitter off with a strike. The 19 hitters he's faced, he started 13 of them off with a strike.
Greg, this is situations where I think Butler needs to try to steal. Even if he's out, at least he tries to do something positive.
The bunt. Smiley can't get it. Boone won't get him either. If you're a manager, you like a ball player who comes back tough after a mistake.
You're right. And normally you do not like to have a hitter bunt with 2 strikes. You like to try to get an extra base hit. But Fonville is not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, so he does what he does best, and that's move the runner along. Good bunt, nice play by Boone not to try to make something happen at first.
The Dodger fans on their feet.
Did they see my chance?
Number 31.
Obviously not.
But this is a lively crowd tonight. This is what the Dodgers need.
Mike Piazza, 0 for 2. With 2 on and 2 out in a tie game in the bottom of the 5th. Piazza hits at a brisk .354 with runners in scoring position.
Well, one of the things that the Reds have been able to accomplish with Piazza so far is that they get him pulling off a little bit. He likes the ball out over the plate, but they pitched him inside so much he's kind of opening up a little too quick. And now you go back inside. They're doing a very good job of pitching to Piazza. Yes, he hit a home run last night, but it was late in the ball game where it didn't matter. They went away. Now, see, this is where you want to pitch him. Right there. Up and in. Anybody that's tried to make a living hitting the high fastball in the big leagues did not last very long.
No ball, 2 strikes to Piazza. Laid off the high fastball there, and it's 1-2.
And that's what you have to do as a hitter. You can't hit that pitch. You have to make sure you do not swing at it. Smart pitch there by Smiley, going right back to the same spot.
Butler at second.
Well, he's still looking for his first hit in his career off Smiley.
And Fonville at first. Off the fist, right side. Morris with a play. And the Dodgers are gone in the 5th inning. They leave 2. We are 5 complete at Dodger Stadium. The Reds 2, the Dodgers 2.
At the Jake, Eric Hansen pitching a nice game for the Red Sox. He's got Eddie Murray on third, Manny Ramirez at the plate, and Hansen strikes out Ramirez with a curveball. Hansen didn't throw the curve for about 15 starts this season because of injury. He's obviously got it back, and he's given up just 2 hits, 4 strikeouts on the night for Hansen. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium, everyone. Greg Gumbel, Joe Morgan. We go to the top of the 6th inning. The Reds and the Dodgers in a 2-2 tie. It'll be pitcher John Smiley leading off the inning for the Reds, and then to the top of the order, Thomas Howard and Barry Larkin to face Ismael Valdez. Valdez has had just 1 tough inning. That was the 4th. He retired the first 2 hitters. Ron Gant reached on an error, and then Reggie Sanders planted a 2-run homer over the center field fence. Smiley popped foul down the third base line. Kelly is there. Number 1. Remember, tomorrow's a travel day in the division series, so check out the most watched night on television. Must-see TV, NBC Thursday. All new episodes of Friends, The Single Guy, Seinfeld, Caroline in the City, and the biggest drama hit on television, ER. Joe, they don't call it must-see TV for nothing. You can catch all the new episodes, NBC, tomorrow.
I will be there with the clicker in my hand.
No. See, you don't use the clicker.
I use the clicker to turn it on.
Nice out.
You don't think I would get up and walk over to the TV, do you?
Heaven forbid. As the sun sets here in Los Angeles. Time called as Howard steps out. Howard is 0 for 2. A ground out to short, ground out to second. The Shields made a pretty good play on him back in the 4th inning. About the bunt, had to jump out of the way. 1-1. Did you ever wear that stuff under your eyes, Joe?
I don't even know what it does, Greg. No. The answer is no.
Foul ball.
I thought it was to deflect the sunlight.
I always get a charge out of the guys who wear them in dome stadiums.
Oh. Well, there's not much sun out here today, but I guess when we started the ball game, the sun was out.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Thomas Howard lifts this one, short center field. Butler on the run is there.
There were some interesting questions given to me.
Shortstop.
You asked of me during the pregame show. A lot of people asked me about Larkin as the MVP and etc. And I say that he does a lot of little things that help you win. All of his little things add up to a big thing, but the guys that are also in the race have huge numbers: 32 home runs, 100 RBIs, hitting 340. It's going to be difficult, but he is no doubt one of the best and most valuable players in the league.
51 stolen bases, scored 98 runs. Not a bad season again for Barry Larkin, University of Michigan product. You are answering quite the number of questions down on the field before the game.
I guess it has to do with the fact I played in Cincinnati, but still, most of the questions were about the series and what could happen for the remaining 4 or 5 games. 4 games.
1-1 pitch is high, 2 balls and a strike. Noting that a couple of times, 3 to be exact, Joe Morgan stole 60 or more bases in a season.
Oh, thank you for that plug.
I got paid for it. 2-2 pitch. Foul plate. Well, there he is.
Oh. Is that low first or high third? Or center field?
It doesn't matter. You're on. Don't fight it.
All right.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Line right at Eric Karros. And Valdez Valdez retires the Reds in order. We'll go to the last of the sixth. The Dodgers looking to lead off the inning for the Dodgers. I talked with Don Gullett, the Reds pitching coach, on how they want to pitch to Karros.
Karros, I think, is similar to Mike Piazza. He wants to get his hands out. He's a tremendous home run hitter. He drives in a lot of runs. And the fact that, again, you got to stay out of the middle of the plate with him. Got to keep the ball tight on him and hopefully get ahead of him, make him inside conscious, and buy some part of the outside part of the plate, which is his strong suit. So, as I said, we got to be effective in pitching inside to this individual.
Karros with a double and a home run tonight. They haven't done that yet to him.
No, they've been able to make Piazza inside conscious, but Karros has been looking for the ball inside. Like that.
It's straight at center fielder Thomas Howard for out number one. Boy, Karros has gotten good wood on the bat each and every time to the plate tonight.
Well, he's been looking for the ball inside, and they have not been able to get it in tight enough on him, and he's been able to hit the ball hard. With Piazza, they have been able to get the ball in tight enough to make him inside conscious, and then the ball's out over the plate that he normally hammers, he has not been able to hit. So it's worked with Piazza, but not with Karros.
Here's Tim Wallach, who stands in at 0 for 2. Looks at a strike. He struck out swinging to end the first and grounded to third in the fourth inning. Falls down 0-2 in the count to Smiley.
You see the difference? They're not coming inside on Wallach because he likes the ball there a little more.
And he's got a base hit in right center field. Sanders cuts it off. Wallach is on with a base hit. And we'll take this moment to remind you this 1995 Divisional Series game is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. By USSB, changing the way you look at TV. And by Beechwood Age Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. I think it's officially sunset, Joe.
Okay.
DeShield. Ball 1. Dodgers with 7 hits tonight. Reds have managed just 2, but we're even on the scoreboard, 2-2. Shields 2-0 now, and once again, Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Greg, former Dodger Orel Hershiser in his first American League postseason game facing John Valentin with a man on second, strikes him out to get out of the inning. It's a pitcher's duel in Cleveland. Hershiser has 5 strikeouts. He's allowed just 3 hits through 5. Back to you, Craig and Joe.
All right, Hannah, right down the hallway here at Dodger Stadium, there's a big picture of the Bulldog.
He had some great seasons here for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
There's a strike. 3-1. Hershiser, quoted in the Los Angeles Times this morning, as saying, "I'm definitely rooting for the Dodgers. He says, I have a lot of friends back there. I think it would be great for Tommy Lasorda to come out a winner." Pitch lined into left field. Gant is there for the second out. 2 down now, and that'll bring up Raul Mondesi. Hershiser went on to say, "I'd like to pitch against one National League team this year that happens to be the Dodgers, and that would be even better. I would probably prefer not to, not because I wouldn't want to lose to them, but because it would probably be a very emotional time. I'd have to find a way to calm myself down." Who is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 4 last night, looking for his first postseason hit.
He did hit the ball hard his last time up.
Hits it hard, foul past
third. It's very difficult to play this game when you're 100% healthy, Greg, but when you do have something wrong with your injury, it makes it doubly tough. And it's even more difficult if you have hand injuries, but your legs are just as important because you drive off of your legs. You use your legs for bat speed. You don't use your hands just for the bat speed.
Ripped into center field. Base hit. Runners at first and second. Wallach with a knee injury, Mondesi with a knee injury. The Dodgers don't have a whole lot of speed on the base paths, but they do have 2 on with 2 out here in the 6th inning.
Well, he has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight. See right there, he's using his hands. He's just pretty strong. He's a strong individual. So he basically hit this ball by fighting the ball off of him. And you see Thomas Howard holding Wallach to one base, moving him up to second base.
So Mondesi on at first. Wallach is out at second. And the Dodgers, although they're in a tie, have looked much better tonight than they did last night.
Well, they seem to have a lot more intensity in this ball game tonight than they had in last night's ball game.
Here's Roberto Kelly, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Ball 1.
And that could have, and it could be a result of the fact that they know if they lose this ball game, the series is basically over. Lasorda was up cheering them on earlier, and I think that had an effect on him. Last night he was kind of laid back, just sitting there watching.
Big swing by Kelly, 1-1. John Smiley in and out of trouble tonight. Roberto Kelly has done well this season with runners at second and or third. A ball and a strike with 2 out. 1 and 2. Kelly looked fooled by that.
Yes, he was. He thought it was going to be a fastball, but he took something off the pitch, and he had him out front. So he was ready for a fastball, and he took something off of it. It's a high changeup. Well, it's not really that high, about belt high.
Up the middle. Larkin didn't get his man at second. Boone thought he had him. The bases are loaded. And here comes Davey Johnson to argue the call. Umpire Frank Pulley made the call right away. Frankly, Joe, I thought he had him.
Well, Davey Johnson obviously thought so too.
Frank Pulley telling Davey Johnson, I saw it.
And Davey knows that this is very important because the bases loaded situation now and a base hit. Although the hitter is going to be Valdez. You see Larkin loses his feet, but he throws to second base. And I think the Reds have a legitimate argument there. Change up, and it was hit up the middle. I think this angle will give you a better view. But it looked like the ball does get there just a split second before Mondesi does. But it's a very close play. I mean, it's not like it's cut and dried one way or the other.
Ismael.
See, he went in with the bent leg. That's what caused him to be a little later than it appeared that he was going to be.
So the bases are loaded for Valdez. Mentioned earlier, Valdez, an 097 hitter during the season. Bases loaded, 2 out. A chance to help himself. Fouls the first pitch off. Center field. Thomas Howard is there. Smiley survives the bases full situation. We've played 6 here in Los Angeles. It's the Reds 2, the Dodgers 2. Welcome back to the top of the 7th, a 2-2 tie. Ron Gant will lead it off for the Reds here in the 7th inning. Ask pitching coach Dave Wallace of the Dodgers how you pitch to Ron Gant.
Well, Ron Gant, as everybody knows, has tremendous power, and we believe that he likes the ball from the middle plate in. So we're obviously going to stay away from that. If we have to go in on him, it'll probably be off the plate in, but basically we're going to stay away from him as well and down out of the strike zone.
I agree with that. He likes the ball middle of the plate in.
0-1 to Ron Gant. Gant has popped out to second and reached on the Fonville error that preceded the Reggie Sanders home run in the 4th. And on a pitch away from him, he fouls it off to the right side and is quickly down 0-2. Dodgers have Roberto Kelly in left, Brett Butler in center, Raul Mondesi in right, Wallach at third, Fonville at short, DeShields at second, Karros at first, a battery of Valdez and Mike Piazza. 0-2 pitch. Away. 1-2.
Nice 0-2 pitch there, in that it looked like it was going to be a strike and broke away. If Gant would have gone for it, wouldn't have been able to drive it any place. Again, this is where he's made some mistakes when he's ahead in the count.
And that one misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And once again, Hannah Storm has something for us. What do you have, Hannah?
Greg, we finally have a score in Cleveland. Bottom of the 5th at 2-on for Indians shortstop Omar Vizquel. Vizquel with a double off Boston starter Eric Hansen. His first ever postseason hit. Kenny Lofton comes in to score all the way from first. And the Indians, who won last night, have taken a 2-0 lead. It's in the 6th. Greg and Joe.
Hannah, thank you. We are in the top of the 7th at Dodger Stadium. The Reds 2 and the Dodgers 2. And the heart of the Reds batting order up this inning, Gant, Sanders, and Hal Morris. 2-2. High, ball 3.
Be interesting to see what this pitch is. With a guy like Gant, you do not like to throw a fastball middle of the plate in, 3 balls, 2 strikes. He's missed with a couple of breaking balls, but you also have Reggie Sanders on deck. The outside corner with a fastball. Beautiful pitch there. And that was a pressure-packed pitch, because if he misses with it, he's got Reggie Sanders up against. Watch the target.
Reggie.
Right there on the outside corner. Gant hoping that it was low. But you can see right out there on the outside corner.
That's more of a National League strike, isn't it?
Yes. Well, you see Gant, he doesn't think it's a strike, but good pitching there by Valdez. And remember one thing, if you're around the plate all the time, you're going to get the borderline pitches. And if you're wild, you're not going to get them.
Here's Reggie Sanders, 0-1. Well, both these guys have been around the plate tonight. We have yet to see a base on balls in this game. The 0 in the earned run department for Valdez. He should have been out of the inning back in the 4th. The error by Fonville opened the door to the 2-run homer by this man, Reggie Sanders.
It appears to me that they want to pitch Gant and Sanders almost identically, and that's exactly what the Reds want to do with Piazza and Karros. The problem is they're staying away with both of these hitters. I think they need to come inside every once in a while just to keep them honest, and that's what Gullett was talking about, coming off the plate inside. But they have not come off the plate inside to either Gant or Sanders. And if a guy sees you 3 times during a ball game, which they've seen, the next time up they're going to know that you have to stay away, and they will give you that pitch inside.
Sanders now looking at a 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Valdez is blowing the fastball past Sanders. Let's see if he comes back with a breaking ball away. Full count pitch. Fastball outside corner.
Well, he is eating the outside corner up with these 2 hitters, which is what you have to do right out there on the edge. And you could see Piazza did not move. He just set up out there and received the ball nicely.
Quite as low as the 3rd strike to Ron Gant, but same kind of pitch. And look at the 87 pitches now for Valdez, and we're in the 7th inning. He's going pretty well. Here's Hal Morris, 0 for 2. Hit hard in the right field, base hit. Morris with 3 hits last night collects his first one tonight.
Catcher, number 18, Benito.
We made mention of it last night. Hal Morris is some hitter, Joe.
Yes, he is. He has always been a good hitter, and he puts the ball in play. And when you put the ball in play, you have a chance. You have a lot of hitters who strike out 1 or 2 out of every 10 at bats. It really cuts down on their chances to hit for a high average. He puts the ball in play.
Here's Benito Santiago, 1 for 2 tonight. A single in the 5th inning. He was erased in an inning-ending double play. steps ahead of the hitter.
That's the first time he has thrown a slow curve in this ball game. Now watch this. This is a slow curve. We've seen him throw a lot of hard curves, but the speed is really what fooled Santiago on that pitch.
78 mile an hour.
Right. That's the slowest pitch he has thrown this entire ball game.
Comes back with a fastball and misses the outside corner.
90% of the time, if a guy throws you a slow curve for a strike, he will come back with a fastball. And you may know that, but it's difficult to handle it because you've seen a 78 mile an hour pitch. Now you've got to speed it up to about 10 miles an hour quicker.
Here's the 1-1. 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes. Once again, let's go back to Hannah Storm. What's going on, Hannah?
Well, Greg, at Coors Field, the Braves were leading 3-0 until the bottom of the 6th. Larry Walker with 2 on with a home run off Braves starter Tom Glavine. Walker, 36 home runs in the regular season and a big one now to tie this game up in Colorado, Greg.
I believe it's a new edition of Home Run Derby in Denver. Martinez wanted the outside corner on that one and missed. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Santiago, ball 3. You know, I don't think that the Colorado Rockies, the way they played the Braves last night, the way they're playing them tonight, I don't think that's a surprise because you expect that out of the Rockies at Denver. The question is, can they do that on the road?
That's a good point. But even in the past, the Atlanta Braves have been able to run through them at Coors Field. So they're showing that they're up to the task in the playoffs.
Full count pitch. Morris goes from first. Ball 4. The first base on balls of the night.
Well, he came back with a 3-2 breaking ball, and he just got it too high.
Number 29, Brent Boone.
Well, he was throwing very hard, but Santiago almost hit a fastball out his first time up, so he didn't want to come back with another fastball, and this one is hanging. This is a hanging breaking ball, and he's really kind of lucky that he didn't get it down just a little bit more because Santiago could have probably handled it very easily.
Bullpen at work, and Dave Wallace is out to the mound.
And Brett Boone is kind of similar to Mondesi in that he's a free swinger, so you don't know what is a good pitch to him and what is a bad pitch. I mean, he swings at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, and he swings so hard he will chase a lot of pitches. In fact, the first time up, he had a 2-0 fastball, and it was up out of the strike zone, and he swung at it. So he's a little bit unpredictable, so it's kind of tough sometimes to pitch to hitters that do not have a pattern that you can stay with.
Here's Brett Boone as the Reds mount themselves a threat here in the top of the 7th inning. Morris at second, Santiago at first, 2 out. Boone with a pop up to first and a fly ball to left. There are your runners. With another strike, 0-2.
Now, again, he's very similar to Mondesi. Mondesi doesn't hit what runners in scoring position either, simply because they're so aggressive, they chase a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
Boone with 1 run in the postseason, with 1 hit so far in the postseason, a 2-base hit last night.
Boone will chase a lot of breaking balls off the plate with 2 strikes, but Valdez is throwing so well, he may want to come back with a fastball.
And now Boone steps away from the plate.
Well, Boone is stepping out because Piazza and Valdez are not on the same page of exactly what they want to do. And so Boone doesn't want to stand there and tighten up.
Now we're ready. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses on the outside. 1-2.
And you can get Boone to chase that pitch on occasion. I think that was a better 0-2 pitch than any other they could have chosen. Just see if he would chase it. He didn't chase it. Now you just have to go after him. Reds 2, Dodgers 2. A ball
on 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. Close. Looked a lot like the pitches that got Gant and Sanders looking.
Well, let's watch the target. Well, no, that one's a little outside. You see Piazza actually moved that one. The other ones he never moved. He hit the target. That one he had to move back, so that meant it was outside.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Brett Boone. Got him swinging. He chased the pitch you said he would. 99 pitches on the night for Valdez. Last of the 7th coming up. 2-2 tie. Of downtown Los Angeles, courtesy of the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 2. And our thanks once again to Captains Lee Bradbury and Matt Elkins for being along with us tonight. As we move to the Dodger half of the 7th inning, and a new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, Dave Burba, has come on. And Mariano Duncan is at second base.
So that means they probably flip-flopped him. So Duncan is hitting 9th.
I always hate when that happens with the scorecard, Joe. Brett Butler, Chad Fonville, Mike Piazza, as the Dodgers look to break a 2-2 tie. Strike 1. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. In Denver, the Braves and the Rockies are tied at 3. At Yankee Stadium, the Mariners and the Yankees are tied at 1. The Red Sox trail the Indians 2-0. We have a tie game here at Dodger Stadium. A little competitive action around the major leagues in the postseason, wouldn't you say, Joe?
Great. Well, that's what you expect, really, because you have the best teams in each league playing each other. And that's what postseason play is all about. Dave Burba throws hard, has a real good fastball, and he also throws a slider.
That misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once more, Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Greg, bottom of the 5th at Yankee Stadium, Seattle with a 1-0 lead and 2 outs for Bernie Williams. Williams had 3 hits last night, comes through tonight with the RBI double of Andy Bennis. Wade Boggs comes in to score for the Yankees to tie the game up at 1 apiece. It's the 3rd RBI of the series for Williams. Greg, we got 3 of the 4 games going on right now are tied.
I noticed that, Hannah. Thank you. Strange how that happens. Get Hannah to work on that 4th game, see if we can get that one up to speed. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brett Butler as the Dodgers look to get something going in the home half of the 7th inning. Another foul ball.
Butler has a way of just working pitchers, especially ones that throw hard and they're basically fastball pitchers. He has a way of fouling off enough balls and working the count into his favor. And he ends up a lot of times going from 0-2 to ball 4.
Ball 3.
And he went from 0-2 in this at-bat to now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's Tom Candiotti in the Dodger bullpen. Tom Lasorda. Butler's 3rd hit of the night.
And again, that's what he's good at. He went from 0-2 to 3-2, and then the guy does not want to walk him, so he doesn't throw him his best fastball. Just tries to throw a strike here, and he throws it down the middle of the plate. Butler puts his little short swing on it, lines it to right field for a base hit. And this will be interesting here because Dave Burba does not hold runners well at first base. But we'll see if they choose to let Butler try to steal it, or will Fonville sacrifice again.
Fonville sacrificed successfully in the 1st inning, has had 2 infield hits since then. There goes Butler. Hit and run, and Fonville fouls it back.
See, I like that better. I do not like giving up outs when you have speed on the base path. I believe that Butler could steal the base because the pitcher does not hold him well. But you have to do something. You can't just let him hit away. You have to either hit and run or go ahead and bunt or let him steal.
Butler, 32 steals and 40 tries during the regular season. This time Fonville shows bunt, takes ball 1.
Well, with speed on the bases with Butler and a speedy runner at the plate, it puts a lot of pressure on the infield defense. Guys have to start moving a little quicker than they would like.
Branson in at third. Bunted, foul at the plate, 1 and 2.
Well, that's not a sacrifice there. Either he's bunting on his own, trying to get a base hit, but it definitely was not a sacrifice.
There's Jeff Branson, the third baseman. So what do you make of the switch at second base by Davey Johnson?
Well, because he was switching Burba, he did not want Burba to come in and he have to pinch hit for him right away because the pitcher is the second hitter in the top of the 8th inning. So since he was changing his pitcher and Boone made the last out, he decided, well, I'll go ahead and make the double switch now.
1 and 2 pitch. Fonville calls time.
Remember, if the Reds are able to get out of this inning without any run score, you're getting late in the ballgame. You're going to have to put a number up there. You hate to, go with a tie ballgame this late in the ballgame if you're the visiting team.
Reaches out, base hit, no, knocked down by Larkin, but that'll be an infield hit. 3 consecutive infield hits for Chad Fonville. Larkin made the break for second and had to come back and knock it down.
Well, that's what speed will do for you. That's what I said. The infielders have to make their move a little quicker than they would like. Butler bluffed, and you saw a little movement there by Larkin. Now he tries to get back. He is able to knock it down, but he can't make a play. Butler was not going, but he faked like he was going, and that's the pressure that is put on the infielders when you have speed at the plate and on the bases.
And the Dodgers now with runners at first and second, nobody out. Piazza, Karros, and Wallach due to come up. Piazza, 5 for 13 lifetime against Burba. Hitless in 3 trips to the plate tonight. The Dodger fans are ready. 0-1.
One reason I think Piazza has success against Burba is that Burba really can't spot his fastball like off the inside corner or on the inside corner. He really just tries to overpower you, and Piazza can handle that, and everything that he throws is hard. Look at that. The infield hits tonight, 4 for the top 2 hitters.
And 6 hits all told between the two of them. 6 of the 11 Dodger hits. 0-1 pitch to Piazza. Foul ball, 0-2.
I think the problem that Piazza is still having with Burba is because of the way that Smiley and Short has pitched him the last couple of days. They have made him inside conscious. They have thrown the pitches inside so often that he looks for the ball inside and he's just a little late. When you look for the ball inside and you open up, your bat drags a little bit. And that's exactly what happened on that pitch there.
So Piazza in a hole at 0-2.
Where Santiago was setting up, they were going to throw a fastball in to Piazza again.
Piazza left a runner on in the first, 1 in the third, and 2 in the 5th inning. 0-2 the count. Check swing foul. It's still 0-2.
And they stayed with that pitch, the fastball off the plate inside. And that's a good pitch, 0-2 here, if you can throw it in there. Just off the plate. They were not trying to throw a strike with it. Santiago has worked his pitches very well tonight in dealing with Piazza. They have not been able to follow his guidance with Karros. They have not been able to get the ball off the plate inside. With Piazza, they've been able to do that.
2. The throw down to second, and Butler's back in a hurry.
Well, Santiago loves to throw. He will try to pick you off any chance that he gets. He throws to all bases. And watch this ball bounces away. Butler's slow going back to second base. And you see Piazza comes up and fires to Duncan, who is standing there. Santiago, I'm sorry, threw to second base.
Butler at second. Fonville at first. A ball and 2 strikes to Piazza. Nobody out. In the bottom of the 7th and a 2-2 tie. As you look down from the MetLife blimp over the left field stand, two and two to Piazza. Solo home run at Yankee Stadium to put New York on top of Seattle. And now the Dodger fans come to their feet. Full count on Piazza. Runners go. Line to left field. Playable by Gant. And the runners will return to second and first.
Tommy Lasorda likes to hit and run with runners at first and second. Most managers do not like to do that with no one out because if you hit a line drive to triple play, you're out of the inning. But Tommy likes to do that.
Piazza broke his bat on that pitch. There you see Piazza's bat.
Well, they've thrown him a lot of fastballs in. This is a breaking ball. You can see the spin on it. It's a slider out away from him. And he hits it right on the end of the bat. Because it was a slider moving away, he was fooled a little bit.
Here's Eric Karros, who has hit the ball on the nose 3 times tonight. A run-scoring double in the first, a solo homer in the 4th, and a fly ball to center his last time up, and he follows this one out of play.
Well, you can see the difference in how they're pitching to Karros and Piazza. They're trying to make the same types of pitches, but they get this ball right in the middle of the plate again. They're trying to go outside on this pitch, and they get it right in the middle of the plate. And Barry Larkin comes in to talk to Burba because they're making too many mistakes with Piazza as compared to Karros as compared to Piazza. Now watch, see where he set up outside? Look at that pitch, right in the middle of the plate. They're lucky that they got away with that pitch. They're just not able to make quality pitches to Karros tonight, but they're doing so to Piazza.
Karros 2 for 12 career against Burba, one of them a home run. Off the plate inside.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to do. If you're going to miss inside, make sure you miss off the plate inside. Do not miss into the middle of the plate. And that pitch always serves a purpose. If you can throw a right-hander off the plate inside, it opens up the outside corner.
Delivered all season long when it counted. The way Eric Karros is swinging the bat tonight, the last thing Davey Johnson wanted to see was a 3-1 pitch to him here.
Well, you're right, because Berber is basically a fastball pitcher. And 3-1, he's probably going to go with his best pitch, which is his fastball. And Karros is going to be sitting on the fastball.
Runners go, ball 4.
Well, he went away from his strength. He tried to throw a slider, 3-1, and he got it up and out over the plate for ball 4.
Bases are loaded for Tim Wallach.
Third baseman, number 29.
That's the first base on balls issued by a Cincinnati pitcher tonight.
I don't think Davey Johnson is real upset with that pitch, Greg, because Karros has been the one that has been hurting him and hitting the ball hard. So he's saying, if I miss with it, so what? I have the bases loaded. If I can get a ground ball, I'm going to get a double play because Wallach is not running very well. And you would rather pitch to Wallach with Burba than you would Karros because his high fastball work matches up real well with Wallach.
Wallach with one of the Dodgers' 11 hits tonight. Action in the Cincinnati bullpen. Bases loaded, 1 out. Mike Jackson loosening in a hurry for Cincinnati.
But remember, the more you miss with the bases loaded, the smaller your margin for error becomes. You miss with the first pitch, now you have to give him a pitch to hit.
Looking for his first ever hit off Burba. Chopper toward third. The throw to the plate in the dirt. Beautiful scoop by Benito Santiago. Branson threw the ball in the dirt. Santiago came up with the ball and his foot on the plate for the force out.
Well, the difficult part is keeping your foot on the plate with this. It's a bad throw. A bad throw. That ball bounces way out in front. Just a great play there by Santiago. I mean, he's got such great talent. I mean, Santiago. Now watch. I mean, this is a tough play. This ball is not a short hop. Bounces way out front, and he's still able to keep his foot on the plate. Normally, a catcher will come off the plate just to block it and make sure that it's not a wild throw. But not only does he do that, he keeps his foot on the plate. Just a great play by Santiago.
Joe,
but the Reds are a great defensive team.
There's a town meeting at the pitcher's mound now, which is just breaking up. Last night, we saw Jeff Branson come to the plate in a questionable play. Do you think he would have been better off stepping on third and going for the slower Wallach at first base?
That one he didn't have a chance for. I mean, normally you say yes, but he was too far this side of the bag. He would have had to run back, tag it, and then he wouldn't have been able to get much on the throw. He made the right decision, but it was also a good base running play by Butler because he ran straight in the line. He stayed right in the line, running home from third to the plate.
Here's DeShields, 0 for 3 tonight.
And the reason they had that big meeting at the mound was to decide how they were going to do it.
At Dodger Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning, a 2-2 tie. Bases loaded for the Dodgers and 2 out. The Dodgers took the lead in the bottom of the 1st inning on an RBI double by Eric Karros. A 2-run homer by Reggie Sanders in the 4th put Cincinnati up 2-1. The Dodgers tied it in the bottom of the 4th on a Karros home run. 2-0 the count to Delino DeShields, 2-1. Dave Burba is the Cincinnati pitcher. He came on here in the bottom of the 7th, relieving John Smiley.
The question is, what do you do here if you're DeShields? Do you take one more? Because you take one, you're going to get another fastball anyway, and you make him have to throw 2 strikes. Yeah, he chose that route.
And the runners will be in motion now. Fonville is at third. Eric Karros at second. Tim Wallach is at first. Full count, 2 out, 2-2 tie, bottom of the 7th, and the runners will go. Pop foul, third base side. Branson will play, he's got it. So the Dodgers threaten, but they don't score. 7 complete at Dodger Stadium. We're tied at 2. Well, between innings, plate umpire Bob Davidson has tossed Dodger right fielder Raul Mondesi, and Tom Lasorda is arguing to no avail. Mondesi, on his way out to right field, apparently said something, and Lasorda comes out and says, "What's going on?" And he said, "What did this guy do?" protests.
Your attention, please.
But he's out of here.
Now pitching for the Dodgers, number 13, Antonio Osuna.
The first thing you think of is that takes a big defensive weapon away from the Dodgers in right field.
Well, yes.
Antonio Osuna is the new pitcher, and while we wait for the action to resume here, let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Greg, a wild one going on at Yankee Stadium. Tied at 1, top of the 6th. 2 out for Tino Martinez. The opposite field single off Andy Pettit. He scores Edgar Martinez from third. Mariners take a 2-1 lead. It was short-lived. Bottom of the inning, Ruben Sierra, the big 2-run shot last night. Another blast tonight. This one off Andy Bennis, his second home run of the series to tie the game up at 2. And then the next batter, Don Mattingly. Mattingly with a solo shot off Andy Bennis. Mattingly has 4 hits in his first ever playoff series. So the Yanks take a 3-2 lead. The fans throw a bunch of trash on the field. Lou Piniella had to take his team off for a while, but they're back now and playing.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Todd Hollandsworth has replaced Raul Mondesi in right field, and Antonio Osuna is the new Dodger pitcher. There's Hollandsworth, and there is Osuna.
Well, the one thing you can't do is lose your cool, especially in a playoff game. I don't know exactly what Mondesi said to Bob Davidson, but obviously it was enough for him to be thrown out of the ball game.
Bob Davidson checking out the Dodger dugout. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have left the bases loaded now without scoring the last 2 innings. Towards second, the Shield. One gone here in the 8th inning.
Second baseman, number 77.
Here's Mariano Duncan.
Mariano
hitting in the 9th position. Came on back in the 7th inning to replace Brett Boone. Duncan hitting .287, 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Opportunities, as I mentioned, bases loaded the last 2 innings, stranding 10 runners in all so far tonight.
Well, the problem is every time they got the runners on, they could not get the ball out of the infield. Fly balls would have done the job. They could not get the ball out of the infield.
Osuna went around 0-2. The numbers for the Dodgers. Only 2 men left on base for the Reds. They've only managed 3 hits tonight. Ismael Valdez did a heck of a job while he was in there.
He pitched beautifully. And remember, the 2 runs that the Reds have were unearned. 2-out error by Fonville and a home run by Sanders.
The count is 1-2 to Mariano Duncan. Fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Word we get from downstairs is that Raul Mondesi had a word or 2 for Bob Davidson from the on-deck circle at the time Delino DeShields was batting. Then he may have expanded on that as he went by Davidson, and Davidson said, "You're out of here." Hit hard and passed DeShields at second base. That ball hit awfully hard by Duncan. DeShields looked to maybe have had a shot at it.
Well, DeShields looked like he didn't see it right away, and he got sort of a late break on it. The ball is hit very sharply. And you see it went by him before he could get there. He may have had trouble picking it up off the bat.
So Duncan is on with the 4th Reds hit of the night. And we go to the top of the order, and Thomas Howard. Reds trying to gain a 2-0 series lead. Then they would need just 1 of the 3 scheduled this weekend at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. The Dodgers, if they drop this one, would face an almost impossible task. Ball one.
Well, Osuna also affords the Reds opportunity to steal if they want to put Duncan in motion. Osuna not that quick to the plate. Has a good fastball, obviously. It gets there quickly once he releases it, but his release is not real quick.
Duncan 1 out of 4 in the stolen base department. Barry Larkin is on deck. Ron Gant, Reggie Sanders to follow. Duncan almost looked like he was in a delayed steal mode there. Halfway down the line, activity in the Dodger bullpen. Kevin Tapani is on your right. Pedro Estacio on the left. Kind of a bad-looking Wednesday evening here in Los Angeles.
They built a lot of new ballparks the last few years, but Dodger Stadium stands up to all of them. This is a beautiful ballpark.
1-1, the count on Howard. And he almost got him at first.
Good quick move to first base there by Osuna. See, Duncan waited a long time before he started back. And you'll see that he does get his hand on the bag just before Karros makes the tag.
Reds 2, Dodgers 2. Top of the 8th inning. Foul ball of 1-2 count now on Thomas Howard.
Osuna throws very hard so he can get away with some pitches up in the strike zone that other pitchers could not get away with.
Another quick throw to first. Karros has to leapfrog Mariano Duncan. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Thomas Howard stares down to third base coach Ray Knight. The 1-2 to Howard. 2-2.
It appears that Osuna wants to keep the ball away from Howard. But he has a good enough fastball, he can just throw it in the middle of the plate up. And he probably can get him. Up and in is the best spot, but you have to throw strikes.
2-2 pitch. Quick throw to first instead.
You don't want to go to 3-2 on this hitter because that will automatically put the runner in motion at first base. But he's trying to keep Duncan close because he knows he has a slow delivery to the plate, and he's not sure if the Reds are going to send Duncan or not.
There goes Duncan. Fouled at the plate.
And that's what he was afraid of. He's just trying to make sure that Duncan doesn't get a good jump because he knows if Duncan takes off and he throws the ball up and away or something, Duncan's going to steal the. Again, we talked about the Dodgers staff. They do not hold runners very well. They give them an opportunity to steal the base if they want to take it. Puts a lot of pressure on Piazza behind the plate, and he has not thrown out very many runners this year, and it's simply because he doesn't get a chance in most cases.
45 in 152 tries. Two strikes to Thomas Howard. Fouling off a bunch of pitches at the plate in this at-bat. And another foul ball down the left field line. It's pretty good at-bat by Thomas Howard.
He is definitely protecting the plate. All you see is right around the major league average. But if you're one of the top catchers, your average should be higher than that. Higher than the average. He's not an average catcher. He's not an average player. But a lot of that has to do with how well your pitchers hold the runners in position for you.
Now the count is full.
And you know Duncan will be going. You want to make things happen at 2-2. Actually, 1-2 is where he should have made it happen. But at worst, you want to make it happen 2-2, because once you get to 3-2, the runner's going to be going. That means you're going to have to cover second base. It means you're going to have to open up a hole someplace.
And Osuna, you figure he'll chase Duncan back maybe one more time before he delivers a 3-2 pitch.
You always put pressure on your infielders when you let them get to 3-2.
Another foul ball. Thomas Howard looking for a spot in this Guinness Book of Records.
Well, he can't get around on the fastball, but Osuna cannot throw it by him either, so he's doing his job. He's hanging tough.
Howard hitless in 3 trips to the plate tonight. Grounded to short, grounded to second, flied out to center field. There goes Duncan. Another foul ball. Stop me if you've heard this before. Meanwhile, look at the look at Mariano Duncan. He's kind of like a breather now.
Duncan says, put it in play.
You know, after about 6 or 7 of those little wind sprints, a runner is not as fast going from first to second as he was the first time.
Well, if he hasn't been doing his road work before the ball game, you're right.
This will be the 11th pitch to Thomas Howard. And a dive back into first by Duncan. Duncan ever does get down to second base, he's going to call for the oxygen. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Thomas Howard. There goes Duncan. And this one hit in the air to left field. Roberto Kelly makes the catch.
It was interesting there. Duncan didn't have near as good a break on that pitch as he did the previous one. So you're right. He was slowing down.
Number 11, Barry Larkin.
And Mariano taking a couple of deep breaths.
Now watch, he was not driving as hard here as he was on the first couple.
Oh. Let me just take it easy back to first base. 2 out now with Duncan at first. How many times have you ever seen a guy on first get a steal sign and shake it off? Here's Barry Larkin. Larkin, a fly ball, a strikeout, and a line out to first.
Be the best fastball that Osuna has thrown in this inning. That one had some pop on
it. Larkin, dangerous hitter. Pops it foul out of play, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes.
These are the types of situations where I like to see the manager put the runner on first in motion, let him try to steal second base. Again, if he's thrown out, so what? You have Barry Larkin, Ron Gant, and Reggie Sanders batting in the 9th inning.
Mariano
not going to get hurt.
Has been in motion for the last 20 minutes. I'd say he's whiffed at first base. There he goes. Pitch out. Throw down. It's wide of the bag, and he's in.
Well, Lasorda was thinking the way that I was thinking, and so was Davey Johnson. We're all on the same page. Because to me, if you let him steal, even if you throw him out, you've got your best hitters coming up in the 9th. Now they have one of their best hitters up with him in scoring position. That's why you run him.
A good throw by Piazza gets him.
Yeah, poor execution here by the Dodgers, and especially Piazza. He has plenty of time, but he throws to the shortstop side, and Duncan is safe. And you can see Duncan made up his mind he was going. Got a pretty good jump as well, but it was a pitch out.
Duncan, that's a base well earned, hard fought for. Larkin fouls it back. 1-2. And you're looking at a guy who delivers. 6 of his 15 home runs with runners in scoring position, Joe.
A lot of your better hitters hit best with runners in scoring position simply because that means the pitcher is throwing from a stretch, and he's not as strong from a stretch as he is from a windup, so your better hitters will take advantage of that.
Reds have put Osuna through the ringer here in the 8th inning. 2-2. Remember, Raul Mondesi's arm no longer available in right field. Todd Hollingsworth replaced Mondesi, who was thrown out before the top of the 8th inning began by home plate umpire Bob Davidson. Indians have built a 4-0 lead in Cleveland on the Red Sox. That game has moved to the bottom of the 8th inning. And now time is called. Dave Wallace comes out to talk to Osuna. Looked to be a real question between Osuna and Piazza as to what to throw.
Well, and if the bench feels like there is a problem, then they need to talk to him.
While we have a moment, let's go to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Greg, the wild game continues at Yankee Stadium. Top of the 7th, Yanks up 3-2. Luis Sojo, the hero of the playoff game, with a big hit here with 2 on. He singles up the middle to bring across the tying run. The game is tied at 3. Next batter, Ken Griffey Jr. lifts the fly ball to left field. Vince Coleman tags. Coleman trying to score from third, and he's in safe. But Luis Sojo out at second. The inning is over, not before the Mariners have gone back on top, taking a 4-3 lead at Yankee Stadium.
All right, Anna. Pitching coach Dave Wallace has returned to the Dodger dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count on Barry Larkin. Mariano Duncan at second with 2 out. Ball 3.
And obviously when Wallace comes out to talk to Osuna in that situation, he wants to make sure that they're all on the same page. By that I mean, if we're going to throw him a breaking ball, make sure you get it away, and that's what he did. If we're going to throw him a fastball, make sure you hit the spot. Don't miss to the middle of the plate.
Now full count on Barry Larkin. First base open and 2 out. Top of the 8th inning. Popped back to the plate. Will Piazza have room? No. The cheer is for a pretty good diving catch by that young man behind home plate.
Greg, sometimes you outthink yourself in a situation like this. Osuna threw a breaking ball there and he hung it. Barry fouled it back, but Osuna's best pitch is a fastball. He should be going with his best pitch, which is a fastball.
There's the leaping catch by Not the real Bill Russell. The real Bill Russell's in the dugout with Tom Lasorda. 3-2 with 2 out. Into right field. Hollingsworth on the run. Not going to get there. The runner scores. The Reds lead it 3-2.
Pitching away, and then they came inside, and he jammed him. He makes a good pitch. He doesn't hit it well, but he finds the hole down the right field line.
Left fielder.
You're unlucky if you're Osuna because you make the pitch that you want, you jam him, and there's not much on the ball, but it just falls right down in no man's land between Karros and Hollingsworth. And the Reds lead. That's why you send the guy to try to steal the base in that situation.
Mariano Duncan may want to find a cop to lay down on there. A couple of pretty good at bats. There's a bad throw to first, gets away. Larkin moves on to second. And the Dodger fans are getting restless.
Tommy's not restless, he's worried. You see Larkin going back. The ball bounces in front of Karros and bounces away. And Larkin goes on down to second base.
Charge Osuna with the error on the throw. Strike one to Ron Gant. Gant has popped to second, reached on an error, looked to call third strike. Of good at bats in this inning. One by Thomas Howard, forcing Osuna to throw a lot of pitches, and the other, Barry Larkin. Sky high on the infield. Wallach, and now Fonville. Fonville with the catch, but the Reds get the go-ahead run in the 8th. We go to the last of the 8th, 3-2 Cincinnati.
Stadium in moment. First, this update from Yankee Stadium. Bottom of the 7th, Seattle up 4-3. Norm Charlton facing Paul O'Neill. Gary Thorne with the call.
2-1. Oh, yeah, tie game. Paul O'Neill. Goodbye into the night of New York.
Paul O'Neill, a solo shot off Norm Charlton, has tied this Yankee game again. It is all knotted up at 4-4 in the 8th. Now we go to Atlanta, Colorado. A tie game at 3. Bottom of the 8th. Alejandro Pena, the winning pitcher last night, facing Andres Galarraga. The big cat comes through with an RBI double. He scores Dante Bichette for the go-ahead run as the Rockies take a 4-3 lead in this game. They try to even the series with Atlanta tonight. Greg and Joe.
Leading off for the Dodgers.
All right, Hannah, thanks very much. Back for the bottom of the 8th inning and some defensive changes for the Cincinnati Reds. There is Jerome Walton, the new left fielder. He replaces Ron Gant. Thomas Howard is out in center field. Darren Lewis replaces him there. And the new pitcher for Davey Johnson is Mike Jackson on the mound. The Dodgers will send Hollingsworth to the plate to lead it off. Pops it into the air, and Jackson makes the catch. That'll bring up Roberto Kelly. It's all over in Cleveland. The Indians beat the Red Sox to take a 2-0 lead, going back to Fenway Park in Boston. How does Albert Bell keep the eyes from falling out of his head when he sees the green monster at Fenway? Roberto Kelly. Ball 1. The Dodgers with an uphill struggle. Larkin rights himself and throws him out.
See the difference between Larkin and a lot of other shortstops. His first priority is to catch the ball and then get up and throw it. He makes sure he stays down. Watch him stay down on this ball. See, his priority is to make sure I catch it first. Then I'll throw the runner out.
And Dave Hansen will be the pinch hitter now for Antonio Osuna. Hansen, a .287 hitter with a home run and 14 runs batted in.
Your attention, please. Both the Dodgers now batting for Osuna. Number 5, Dave Hansen.
Hansen appeared as a pinch hitter in last night's game and was 0 for 1. Swings and misses on the first pitch.
Mike Jackson throws a fastball, slider, and you just saw his changeup. That's something new he's added this year because he has a little more success against left-handers once he uses the changeup.
And comes back with the heater. Dave Hansen, a terrific pinch hitter this season. Now behind in the count, 1-2. Prevail here. They need to win just one more as they go back to Riverfront Stadium for Game 3 Friday night.
It'd be interesting if he was to get Manager of the Year votes and then leave the ball club, wouldn't it?
Davey Johnson?
Yes, Davey.
1-2. 2-2.
Davey has been successful every place that he has managed. He is a very good manager.
What's your former manager, Sparky Anderson? Do you think Sparky would consider going back to Cincinnati? Base hit center field by Hansen. So the tying run is on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, he had thrown him a couple of changeups. Now he comes with a little slider, and he lines it into center field for a base hit. So Hansen does his job and gets on base.
And Hansen will come off for a pinch runner. That'll be Jose Offerman.
Now running at first base for Hansen, number 30. Jose Offerman.
So Offerman is the tying run at first with 2 out. And here is Brett Butler, who is 3 for 4 tonight.
Mike Jackson, like Dave Burba before him, has a few problems holding runners on. But Benito Santiago has one of the better throwing arms in the league.
Strike one. Offerman just 2 out of 9 in the stolen base department.
So that tells you that Tommy's probably not going to let his last shot go down by being thrown out with 2 outs.
0-1 pitch. Toward right field. Cut off. Duncan throws him out. The best defensive team in the National League, the Cincinnati Reds. Mariano Duncan gets the 3rd out there. We'll go to the 9th. Defense has been a trademark of the Cincinnati Reds this season, and Mariano Duncan shows why. The MCI proof positive replay. In the bottom half of the 8th inning, Duncan with the play on Brett Butler. The MCI proof positive replay, and Mariano Duncan with appreciative greetings from his teammates in the dugout. Well, I'm sorry, Joe. We start the 9th inning, and a new pitcher on the mound is Kevin Tapani.
And you said it best, the Reds, the best defensive team in the National League. They've made a couple of plays tonight that have saved them. Particularly the play at home played by Santiago when the Dodgers were threatening with the bases loaded. They had a chance of scoring a couple of runs there, and they could have kept Valdez in the ballgame.
Reggie Sanders, Hal Morris, Benito Santiago to face Tapani. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sanders has a home run, a 2-run homer in the 4th, sandwiched between 2 called 3rd strikes. 2-1 pitch is tight, ball 3.
Tapani came over to the Dodgers from the Twins. They needed another starter, and they brought Tapani over, and they also got Mark Guthrie to come along with him, the left-hander out of the bullpen.
Sanders is on base. That'll bring Hal Morris to the plate, and we'll remind you this 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailers, by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth, and by the makers of Advil. Hal Morris, 1 out of 3 tonight. The Reds with a 1-run lead. Well, taking maximum advantage of minimum output tonight.
You're right, and the Dodgers are in serious trouble here because you have speed on the bases and a guy that can handle a bat at the plate. They have several options here. And Davey Johnson will just make the choice of what he wants to do. Sanders could steal the base outright. He could put a hit and run on. A lot of things here offensively can happen for the Reds.
Reds stole 190 bases during the regular season. Sanders had 36 of them. Here he goes. Piazza comes up throwing. Too late.
Well, he took option number 1. I'll let him steal. Now it'll be up to Morris to pull the ball to the right side and move him over. And make no mistake about it, a 2-run lead in the 9th makes you more comfortable than a 1-run lead. He got a great jump. He was gone, and Piazza had to hustle. A good throw may have made it close, but you can see that he's in there easily.
You could tell the steal sign was on because Sanders never even took a look over his shoulder to see what was happening with the hitter.
Interesting here, they're going to go ahead and walk Morris because they do not want him to pull the ball to the right side. And that'll open up some other options for Dave Johnson.
So that'll put runners at first and second for Benito Santiago, and we go to Hannah Storm.
Greg, it is not over at Coors Field. Colorado leading 4-3, top of the 9th. Fred McGriff drops the single to left off Mike Munoz, and that scores Chipper Jones, who had gotten on with a leadoff double. Jones is 5 for 10 so far in the series. This game is now tied at 4 in the 9th. Greg and Joe.
You know, you have a battle on your hands when you go to Coors Field, don't you?
Well, and they have a battle closing it out.
Catcher, number 18.
Don Bailey
Benito Santiago.
All of his release pitchers seem like every single day.
The Reds looking for a 2-0 series lead here. The Indians have a 2-0 series lead over the Red Sox. And the Braves looking for the same in Denver.
And the question is whether you will have Santiago bunt to move the hitters along or let him swing away. And that's one of the options that Davey Johnson has.
Jerome Walton will be the next hitter. Here we go.
The Dodgers do not think he's bunting.
Wallach is deep at first. Carroll's not holding the runner, or deep at third, and Carroll's not holding the runner on at first. He's going to bunt. Takes a strike. Wallach is going to stay and protect third base.
Well, his hope is that Tapani would be able to field the ball off to the third base side and force Sanders at third. With the speed of Sanders, that's going to be difficult, first of all. And the last thing you want to do is not get anyone out by waiting too long.
Santiago has not yet dropped down a sacrifice bunt this season.
And technique not too good on that one. And maybe you see why he hasn't bunted. And watch, you have to get the barrel of the bat out front. He doesn't ever get it out front. See this? You have to reach out front. He just reaches across the plate and fouls it.
So Santiago now down 0-2 in the count.
With you, Greg, that's another reason why I think Davey Johnson is such a good manager. A lot of people say would let Santiago swing away, say, well, he hit a home run yesterday, swing the bat well. But that's not important. The only thing important here is to get another run and try to win this ball game. And so you have to do things a little differently in the playoffs than you do on an everyday basis. You do not have the same opportunities to make mistakes.
1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. That's a big out.
Yes, it is. chases the fastball off the plate away, and then he broke his bat on the ground. That's actually a changeup away. Watch, he broke his bat right there. And watch him, he breaks his bat, and then he throws it away. He throws it, it's broken, he throws it down the first baseline. He was very upset because he wasn't able to get the bunt down and then not able to put the ball in play.
So one gone here in the top of the 9th inning. And here's Jerome Walton, who comes to the plate for the first time tonight. Walton, a .290 hitter during the regular season. 8 homers, 22 runs batted in. Rookie of the Year with the Chicago Cubs back in 1989.
He has a good fastball, a changeup, and he will throw a slider on occasion. But fastball and changeup are the 2 pitches that he uses the most.
Walton went 0 for 2 last night in a relief role, striking out once. Dodgers would love to see something akin to a double play ball here.
He chases a breaking ball out of the strike zone, a little slider, broke down and away from him.
Two on, 1 out, 1-1 pitch, 1-2.
Set up away, and that's a changeup way out in front of it.
Jeff Branson would be next. Hit foul past third. Once again, MetLife Snoopy 2 blimp, giving you just an awesome shot at Dodger Stadium. The Reds, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Dodgers, 2 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, and have stranded a bunch here tonight. Left the bases loaded in the 6th and 7th innings. There go the runners. In the dirt, Piazza can't make a play, and the runners are safe all around.
And as soon as you forget about the base runners, the Reds will do that to you. I mean, Tapani was concentrating on trying to strike Walton out, and he forgot about Sanders. And Sanders takes off, and so does Hal Marsh, and they make it easily because the ball is in the dirt. They picked a good pitch anyway. It was a changeup, and it was not going to get there quick enough in order for Piazza to throw him out. And you see, he knows that he made the mistake by not holding the runners close enough at the bases.
Now the Dodger infield is in.
Can never relax with the Reds when they're on base.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Jerome Walton. Now he steps out of the box. Tapani, the 3rd Dodger pitcher of the night. Ismael Valdez was outstanding. Then it was Antonio Osuna, and now Tapani. 2-2. Ball. And now Piazza wants to talk things over with Tapani.
Well, Piazza's been trying to get him to throw a fastball in. Tapani has gone with the changeup on several occasions. You see right there, the first thing he said was fastball, but I'm not sure Tapani wants to throw him a fastball. He figures that he can get him out with his changeup, and so far Walton has hit the top of the changeup, which means that if he even puts it in play, it will be a ground ball.
Infield is in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on Walton.
And he does throw the fastball there.
Top of the 9th inning, tied. Yankees and Mariners tied. Indians have gone 2 games up on the Red Sox. Reds trying to do the same here. And now we understand the Braves have gone ahead of the Rockies in the top of the 9th inning. Foul ball at the plate. So the Braves lead the Rockies 5-4, and they still bat in the 9th. Johnson looking for a little extra as he goes to the bottom of the 9th inning. And now the Braves with a 6-4 lead on Colorado. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded. The bullpen has been a problem for the Dodgers. Here comes Dave Wallace. The next hitter will be Jeff Branson. We'll have a pitching change. So we'll take a break and come back to Dodger Stadium in a moment.
Stadium in a moment. First, things all tied up at Coors Field, top of the 9th. Mike Mordecai, first postseason at bat. It's a pinch hit single to center off Darren Holmes. That scores Fred McGriff from second base with a go-ahead run. It's 5-4 Atlanta. And then the next batter, Rafael Belliard, the grounder to second. But Eric Young throws wildly, and on the throwing error, 2 more Braves come in to score. They now have a 7-4 lead in the top of the 9th. And the Rockies looking at an 0-2 hole, perhaps, going to Atlanta, Greg.
All right, Hannah, the same hole the Dodgers are looking at as they head to Cincinnati. Mark Guthrie is the new pitcher. Pitched a scoreless inning here last night. He comes on with the bases loaded and 1 out. 3-2 Cincinnati lead.
Well, there's a lot of confusion by the Dodgers. Some of them are playing in and the others are playing back. Now they get it straight. They call timeout. The Dodgers are going to go for a double play. For a while, the Shields was playing in and Fonville was playing back. They have to play the same spot.
Mark Lewis hitting for Jeff Branson. Picks on the first one toward Fonville. The force at second, that's all they get in a run scored.
Well, Tommy made a choice to stay back and try to get 2. The ball wasn't hit sharply enough to get a double play.
Second baseman, number 77.
And you see Fonville gets rid of it quick. That's about all you can do. There's no way you can make 2 long throws in that situation and get a double play.
So Walton is forced at second. The Reds with runners at first and third. Here comes Dave Wallace again. And we're going to get another pitching change. As we do that, we'll take another break and come back to Dodger Stadium in just a moment. Top of the 9th inning, 2 on and 2 out. Along with Joe Morgan, I'm Greg Gumbel. Pedro Estacio is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. Had a pretty good outing in Game 1 here last night. A couple of guys in the newspaper this morning said maybe the Dodgers should have started Estacio last night. Started the season in the starting rotation and then was moved to the bullpen.
What happens to a lot of guys, you get in a rut as a starter, they put you in the bullpen, you find your confidence, and then you get a chance to go back and start. I'm sure next year they will consider him as a starter when spring training starts.
Well, here's the situation. The Reds have pushed 1 over in the top of the 9th inning. They lead it 4-2. Runners at first and third, 2 out, and Mariano Duncan is the hitter. Singled back in the 8th inning.
Scored the go-ahead run at that
time. Looking ahead to the Dodger 9th inning, Chad Fonville, Mike Piazza, Eric Karros. Fonville, 3-3, Piazza, and overdue 0-4. Double to The Dodgers will pitch Hideo Nomo Friday night in Cincinnati. Davey Johnson has not yet named his starter. Indications are that it might be David Wells with the success that the lefties have enjoyed against the Dodgers. Breaking ball misses, 1-1. Hideo Nomo doing the chart thing in the dugout.
I don't think he's worried about it.
I don't think he worries about anything.
No, he looks like he figures, well, when my turn comes, I'll go out and win the ball game.
One strike with 2 out.
The Dodgers have always had good starters, you know, and they've had some good performances out of the bullpen, but not consistent performances. That has been their problem. Estacio has pitched very well out of the pen, but some of the other ones have not. I mean, look at, well, you have to look at his record. He was 1-6. Now he's 6-2 in relief, and a run and a half per game less on his earned run average.
Long relief has been the problem for the Dodgers. Todd Worrell's performed well. 1-2 pitch. Instead, Estacio steps off.
And I think that is one of the problems he had as a starter. He worked so slowly that the Dodger infielders and outfielders get back on their heels.
Base hit right field. 5-2 Reds.
Well, it looks like Mariano Duncan was the catalyst for this ball club tonight. He came in, he got the base hit, stole a base, scored the go-ahead run. Now he drives in another one.
You know, Estacio looked like he was throwing very well, putting the ball where he wanted to, and then all of a sudden there was 2 minutes between his last pitch and the one before it.
And he got a fastball up and over the middle of the plate. He had thrown him a couple of off-speed pitches, 2 breaking balls that he swung and missed. Then he tried to throw a fastball by him.
It's a final in Denver. The Braves have taken a 2-0 lead on the Colorado Rockies and will return to Atlanta looking to close it out Friday night. Here the Reds with a 3-run lead in the 9th. Lewis, Darren Lewis, takes it high and tight, ball 1. You see the numbers for Lewis as he steps in for the first time tonight. I beg your pardon, he flied out to left field his last time back. Line foul down the third baseline. 1-1.
It's interesting, most of the season Darren Lewis had been the starting center fielder for the Reds. He is a gold glove type center fielder, which helps their defense and works well with their defense, but he had struggled with the bat, and starting this series they decided to go with Thomas Howard against the right-handed pitching of the Dodgers. I'm sure he will play a role against the Braves if they get that far with the Braves left-handed pitching.
1-1 pitch. Back up the middle, off Estacio. DeShields makes the play and tags the runner out. But the Reds put 2 across in the top of the 9th. Dodgers coming up for their last swings right after these words from your local station.
Now with the Yankees with a chance to win it. Greg and Joe.
All right, Hannah, thanks. Welcome back to Dodger Stadium, everyone, for the bottom of the 9th inning. A couple of changes in the Cincinnati defense as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 5-2 Reds.
Your attention, please.
Mark Lewis is the new third baseman.
Remaining in the game
And on the mound is the closer for the Reds, Jeff Brantley.
Mark
And
Lewis.
Brantley with 28 saves. He is their
And now
stopper.
pitching for the Reds,
Fastball,
number 45,
slider. He'll throw a curveball. He also
Brantley.
throws a splitter on occasion.
The Dodgers with Fonville, Piazza,
for the
Charos,
Dodgers, number
and
3.
Wallach
Shortstop.
And
try to make up a 3-run deficit.
And obviously, it's up to Fonville to try to set the table for the two sluggers. If he can get on base, he will bring the tying runs to the plate.
Chad Fonville sacrificed a runner in the first and then singled in the third, singled in the fifth, singled in the seventh. The Reds, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers, 2 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. And another base hit for Fonville. 4 for 4 for Fonville tonight.
And he does his job by getting on base and brings up the tying run. He takes a fastball, just lines it right back through the middle for a base hit. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Piazza needs to get on base to be the tying run.
Piazza 0 for 4 tonight. Flied out to right with a man on second in the first. Popped to second with a man on in the third. Foul to first with 2 on in the fifth. Fly to left with a couple on in the seventh.
And you can see Piazza went up there to take a pitch too. He's trying to get on base for Charos.
Ball 2.
And sometimes when you know a hitter is taking, it's tougher to throw a strike than when you think he's swinging.
Piazza 4 for 11 in his career against Jeff Brantley. Dodgers need 3 to tie to avoid going down 2 games to none. Swing and a miss, 2-2. The skipper.
A worried skipper. And one that feels like he has things under control.
Somewhat concerned. Strike 3 call. This is a pretty good pitch from Jeff Brantley.
Yeah, well, they've pitched him inside so often tonight, he gave him an opportunity to go away again.
The Hummer. Here's Eric Charos. Charos doubled home a run in the first, homered in the fourth, hit a shot to center that was caught in the sixth, and walked in the seventh. Brantley's just going with the fastball now.
Well, that's what he's supposed to do. They need another runner on before it becomes serious, so he definitely doesn't want to fall behind hitters or walk anyone.
Charos has 4 hits off of Brantley in his career, one of them a home run. Just lays off of that one. It's 1-1. It's 5-4.
Well, they've been able to make great pitches on Piazza and mistakes with Karros. I mean, they have not been able to pitch him the way they want to, and Karros has made them pay.
2 home runs, all 4 Dodger RBIs tonight.
You see the target was over the outside part of the plate. This ball comes over the middle end, and when he hits it, there's no doubt about it.
So that's now 2 of his 5 career hits off Brantley home runs. Here's Tim Wallach. Strike 1. Wallach, 5 out of 24 in his career against Brantley, and 2 of those 5 hits are home runs.
I know Yogi Berra is sitting someplace saying it's never over till it's over.
Dodger fans making some noise. 0-1 pitch. Popped it up. Larkin makes the call. And the catch for out number 2.
Number 14, Delano DeShields.
That will leave it to Delano DeShields. To DeShields, who is 0 for 4 tonight.
But DeShields does have power. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Rips this one foul down the right field line. Remember, Joe, top of the 9th inning, we talked about those extra runs Davey Johnson liked to have.
Right. And they came in handy because Karros could have tied the ball game.
Shields follows it back, and now it's 1-2. The Dodgers down to their last strike.
And if you see a rejected Mike Piazza, knowing that he had an opportunity to do some things tonight and just couldn't get it done. Karros got it done, but that doesn't seem to be enough.
2-2. If DeShields reaches, Todd Hollingsworth would be next. Brantley doesn't want that to happen. 2-2 pitch. In the air to center field. Darren Lewis is there, and the Reds go up 2-0 as they head back to Riverfront Stadium to try to close out this best-of-5 series. Chevrolet player of the game is Barry Larkin. His base hit brought the go-ahead run home, breaking the 2-2 tie. In conjunction with this program, Chevrolet will contribute a total of $50,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America in the names of all the players of the game for the 1995 Major League Baseball season. Dave Burba is the winner, Antonio Osuna the loser, and Brantley gets the save. We remind you to stay tuned to this NBC station for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno after your local news. Friday night postseason baseball continues at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific with Game 3 of the Division Series. Once again, our final score, the Reds 5 and the Dodgers 4. The Reds lead it 2-0. For Joe Morgan, I'm Greg Gumbel saying good night from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles.
This telecast has been